Mommy, look at this bug. Sylvia heard Jeffy calling her from somewhere in the house. She tamped down the fresh soil around the roots of one of her bankin bonsai, the one with the quadruple curved trunk, and followed the sound of his voice from the greenhouse to the kitchen, wiping the dirt from her hands as she moved. Bugs in the kitchen? She didn't like the sound of that. She noticed an unsettling odor as she approached. She found a plate of cookies half-eaten on the butcher block kitchen table. Gladys, the cook and housekeeper, always left Jeffy a snack before she went home. The boy was standing at the back door, pointing up at the screen. See it, Mom? It looks like a giant booger. As much as Sylvia hated to admit it, Jeffy was right. What appeared to be a big glob of mucus with legs and buzzing wings was clinging to the outside of the screen. She heard a growl. Old Femus, their one-eyed mongrel, was crouched by the dishwasher, ears back, tail tucked under him, snarling at the thing on the screen. I know what you mean, old boy, she said, patting his head. I've never seen anything like that either. As bizarre as the thing was, Sylvie was almost glad to see it. This was one of the few times since yesterday morning that Jeffy had shown interest in something besides that Mr. Vellieux. He'd talked about the man incessantly since his visit. He seemed infatuated with him, repeatedly asking when he was coming back or when Sylvia could take him to see the old man. Sylvia kept putting him off, saying, "We'll see," instead of "no," hoping the boy's fixation would pass. In the meantime, any distraction was welcome. Sylvia wrinkled her nose. Whatever this creature was, it stank. A part of her immediately loathed the thing, but curiosity edged her forward. Some of its mucus appeared to be oozing through the mesh of the screen. She leaned closer and heard Femus whine. It's all right, boy. She reached out a finger to... A hand grabbed her by the shoulder and pulled her back. She whirled and saw Ba. Sylvia stared in shock at the giant Vietnamese. He never touched her, not even to help her out of the car. He looked paler than usual, and he was sweating. Ba, what's wrong? Please, Mrs. No. Terrible sorry, but mustn't touch. I wasn't going to touch it, just get a better look. Please, let me close the door. What is it, Ba? I've never seen anything like it before. Have you? No, Mrs., but it's an evil thing. You can tell by the smell. The smell was bad, that was for sure, but if odor were a worthy criterion, Limburger cheese would be evil too. Ba was obviously concerned, though, almost frightened. Sylvia had to respect that. Any overt sign of emotion from this man was an extraordinary event, not to be taken lightly, and for him to show fear, almost unthinkable. Sylvia was suddenly a little afraid herself. Very well, Ba, she said, stepping back. We'll lock up if you think it's best. He smiled with relief. But as he reached for the door to swing it closed, something crashed into the screen. Another bug, but this one was different. A vicious-looking thing that seemed to be all mouth, its jaws lined with hundreds of transparent teeth that looked like tiny glass daggers. Some of those teeth had thrust through the screen on impact. The creature gripped the metal mesh with its tiny claws and began chewing, ripping an ever larger hole. Ba slammed the door shut just as the head poked through. My God, what are those things? What are what? Alan said as he rolled his wheelchair into the kitchen. Tooth bugs and booger bugs, Jeffy whimpered. Sylvia felt him press against her leg, clinging to it. He seemed afraid now. She smoothed his blonde hair and offered him what she hoped was a reassuring smile. Don't be afraid, Jeffy. They can't get in here. Yes, they can. They want to eat me. Just then another of the toothed insects buzzed against the screen of the casement window over the sink as Alan was passing. He stopped his chair and stared. What the... As it began to chew at the screen, Ba stepped past Alan and tried to bat it away, but his efforts only seemed to enrage the thing. It buzzed more loudly, attracting another of its kind. Close the window,